Gates haven't even been dropped yet at the spawning fountain. But here they are going on to the lane. Now, flash start from Hecarim. How do you feel about that versus that Tryndamere?
It'll give him a lot of sustain. I would have liked to see the cloth 5 pot though.
Yeah, I almost feel like Little Robot is playing it a little too safe. Cloth 5 would have given him a little bit more sustain. Or even starting... Tryndamere does not have high damage output at level 1. He really isn't a threat until he gets that ultimate, until he gets some items to back up those auto attack damage. And I honestly feel like as Hecarim, you do have enough sustain with your kit that you should be alright. Now, we'll just have to see how that works for him. He might be a little bit weirded out with that matchup. It's not... Tryndamere has kind of fallen off as a top laner. But as speaking of interesting pickups, Maximum picking up boots and pots against that Cassiopeia.
Wants to use them fancy feet.
That fancy feet is right. Not too bad. I would almost like maybe a regen beat. But we will see. Looks like he is just gonna start out with those boots. The sustain against Spooky should be alright with that Vlad. It was a nice pickup actually. Both of them can trade. Just need to watch out for Spooky Spaghetti's ultimate when he hits 6. The CC will probably be enough to end him if he's not able to pull in time. But considering the fact that Vlad doesn't have any mana issues, he will be able to poke Spooky Spaghetti quite efficiently though. In that lane. Meanwhile, Little Robot and Water Dragon going to trade up in the top lane. The self-heal from Tryndamere is going to keep him quite healthy. And I guess now the flask makes a little bit more sense, considering the fact that Little Robot does want to trade. Meanwhile, Jared hides the play as they will hit 2 before. Nice death sentence onto Cavalry, forcing the heal pop. Kaza is dropping quite low, but the flash to secure the first kill. Exhaust was dropped on Kaza that fight as well, had to wait that out. Cavalry misplaying that a little bit. Meanwhile, the action continues mid lane as Spooky Spaghetti goes on to Maximum, but he is low on mana. And that is the problem early on with mana champions. Not able to spam that Twing Fang as much as Spooky wants. Now it looks like both the laner ADCs actually decided to go back, taking the opportunity since Cavalry was not in lane. Kaza does pick up her pickaxe. Going to have that advantage. Top lane, the Water Dragon goes on to Little Robot. Little Robot needs to get out of here. Nice spinning, and Water Dragon actually picks up the solo kill. Level 4. Never mind about that. Don't have to worry about Tryndamere.
You have to worry about Tryndamere.
Water Dragon proving me wrong. Honestly, Little Robot misplaying that a bit though. Staying, I don't know if his E was on cooldown, but the speed boost should have been enough to get him out of there. Kind of strange to see. Now, Q-Story did go up to see if he had to hold the lane, but the minions didn't push fast enough. So, all in all, Little Robot doesn't lose too much of that minion wave. Nice death hook onto Cavalry. Will put some poke. Meanwhile, Spooky Spaghetti regenning a bit of that mana back. Continuing to poke onto Maxim. And CS is pretty even there in the mid lane. With that first kill under her belt, Kaza does lead the CS advantage between ADCs. And surprisingly, again, as I commented earlier, Water Dragon not pushing that wave before going back, and Little Robot was able to get all that CS. While I say that, though, placeholders will pick up the first dragon. No contention from EBO. Yeah, great rotations. Having the bot lane come there, Kaza helping out with that dragon. Not that Ebeg needed it as well. Sejuani pretty safe in taking dragons. But Water Dragon goes onto Little Robot again, doing a lot of damage. Some lucky crits coming out of Water Dragon though, with the help of that Avarice Blade. Jarrett will go over to Calvary. Nice fillet death sentence combo. Alindris is trying to block out as much damage as he can. Trying to keep his ADC safe, but Cavalry already very low in this lane. Just absolutely getting poked out. Getting caught by these flays into death sentence combos. Meanwhile, Little Robot is trying to go out to Water Dragon, but Water Dragon is 6. He will just tower drive Little Robot. Nice death sentence though, and the bot lane will poke Cavalry out. And Water Dragon, that top lane matchup almost looks a little lost. Squeaky Spaghetti popping his ulti onto Kustori. Nice reaction time from Kustori though, turning his back onto that Medusa. Not wanting to get turned into stone.
Advantage. That pickaxe advantage for Tristana is huge in this bot lane.
Yeah, that first kill actually just throwing that lane quite off balance, and with Tristana just absolutely destroying turrets so quickly. EBO's bot lane needs to find an answer. And this is kind of the downside of Udyr. And Udyr really doesn't want to farm, or to gank, as much as he wants to farm. Which might bite his team in the butt, because here comes Sejuani in the mid lane right now, going on to maximum. He does pool to get out of it. Luckily, Ebeg is not 6. Not able to throw that Sej ulti out, but there it is. The first tower going over in favor of placeholders as well. First blood, first dragon, first tower, all going in favor of placeholder this early game. And this is what I was worried, because this just makes life a lot easier for placeholder in their scaling toward their mid game. Now, not to say their mid game is weak, but it's not as strong as EBO. Meanwhile, Ebeg's here for round 2. They did cycle up Jarrett. Maximum is going to flash over the wall, but Spooky missing his ulti. Nice death system from Jarrett. Might salvage this gank though, but Maxim pops his ulti. Does have Kustori here to back him up, but it's not enough. Spooky will pick up the kill. Ultimate from Vladimir though will drop them low as they don't chase Kustori under turret. Probably the smarter choice. Meanwhile, the rotation from Little Robot is here now as he tries to see if he can make anything happen. Waiting patiently in the bush. He does get pinged out though by placeholder. Kaza all alone in the down here. Might need to watch out if they decide to tower dive him. Both Cavalry and Alindris are 6. But it's just going to be a 3-man push from placeholder. And just like that, Kusori gets caught out with the den sentence. And that's another kill for Spooky Spaghetti.
The death sentences from Thresh have been on point so far in this game.
Yeah, Kustori not really respecting the amount of damage. And again, I say this, Spooky Spaghetti just sitting on a tier. And it's just, the damage coming out is just incredible. Already 2-0. on par with his top laner, Water Dragon. And a very strong early game from placeholders. They're making exactly the right moves that they need to make. Now Kaza catches on Alindris. Will Rocket jump in, forcing the flash off Alindris, but the death sentence coming in, and that is going to be one dead Braum as Kaza picks up her second kill of the game. These death sentences are so on point, you are correct. Jarrett just making the plays super easy for his team. Little Robot needs to get out of here. His tower's about to fall, and Water Dragon has no qualms about tower diving. Meanwhile, the poke from Spooky Spaghetti onto Maximum is so damaging, but Cool Story comes in for the gank. Smites, Bear Stance will get dropped as he gets locked in. Ultimate not hitting. Ebeg trying to help his mid laner, and they're actually going to force Cool Story out. Spooky Spaghetti doesn't have vision though, but Ebeg should be able to clean this up, and Jarrett is here. Nice play. Will pick up his jungler a kill. A death sentence again, and Spooky Spaghetti will take that one.
Spooky living with single-digit health right there.
Yeah, the rotations from placeholder is so on point. That Thresh roam is absolutely a breath of fresh air to watch as a support. But a second dragon now going over for placeholders. EBO in no position to contest this at all, and it looks like placeholders are going to run away with an instant lead this game. Now, what does EBO try to do to come back? Because they are very behind right now.
They honestly need to group. EBO is kind of getting picked off in single lanes. Like mid right now.
Yeah, death sentence not landing. Nice timing from Jarrett as he times the pool, just missing the direction of that death play. But even if they didn't get the kill, they do pick themselves out the tower. Now EBO's no T1s left for them. Cavalry trying to respond with the first tower himself, but a death sentence from Jarrett. Nice, a blind death sentence. This is most surely going to be a kill. Kaza will pick that up. And Jarrett's Thresh. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think Thresh has missed the death sentence yet.
These are literal, but tries to go on to Spooky Spaghetti. Flashes for it too. Maxim is too far behind, and Spooky Spaghetti is just gonna walk out of this. Actually turning it around on Robot, missing his ulti now. But he'll popped. Will keep a Little Robot safe. If I had to critique anything from placeholders right now, it's that Spooky Spaghetti has been missing these really easy ultimates. Not really characteristic of him, but he is still 3-0-2 in this game.
Outputting so much damage.
Yeah,
with
not
Blitz and Archangels.
it's a crazy amount of damage. Now, just to show it, Infinity Edge already finished for Kaza. It's going to still be a while for Lucian, though, needing just a little bit more gold on that one. But it's looking like Kaza is going to be about half an item ahead of Cavalry. But the scary thing is that Water Dragon has still yet to join these fights. Ebeg goes on to Little Robot. Nice ultimate. Will land on two members. Alandris tries to disengage with that Braum ultimate. And will stop the aggression from placeholders right now. Now Little Robot forced to recall. Will not be able to help defend this T2, and it looks like Maximum is just going to have to give this up. Jarrett here threatening with that death sentence. Would spell death if it does land. The hook lands, and a follow-up from eBag. Pull from Vlad, though, is going to get him out of there. But can EBO stop this push? It's 15 minutes into the game, and Placeholder is already threatening an inhibitor. Meanwhile, again, Water Dragon has been left to his own devices, just been split pushing that top lane. It looks like nobody from EBO wants to deal with that Tryndamere right now. The flash play from Jarrett, the box is landed. Maximum will drop the pool from Vlad, though. No one has yet to drop, but health from EBO falling low. eBag will pick up one. There's Cassiopeia. Tryndamere picks up a kill for himself, too. It's going to be a double kill for Spooky Spaghetti. And only Cavalry is up. And he just does not have enough to stop this push. Will dash in, trying to wave clear as best as he can. Will buy a little bit of time. Death timers are still really short, as we're not even in the 20-minute mark of this game. And it looks like Placeholders is just going to back off. Not wanting to push their luck. And in all honesty, they don't need to.
The gold lead for Tryndamere over Hecarim is huge right now. It is 4K.
Yeah, Water Dragon tripling the farm of Little Robot. Like, Little Robot paying for it not only by losing lane, but not freezing that top lane after his tower dropped, and roaming mid, not getting anything for it. I think he stayed a little too long in that mid lane, tried to force too much, and I can't really blame him because they did need the man power to try to hold the middle turrets, but in the end, they ended up falling regardless of his presence being there. But there it is. They do have the minion wave. 4 members of Placeholders will try to siege this. Meanwhile, Water Dragon is still being left alone in the top lane. Honestly, EBO just has no answer for it. And it looks like it's going to be an inhibitor falling 18 minutes into this game. Death Sentence will land onto Little Robot. Flay will go. They need to watch out as Placeholder is trying to peel back. Maximum trying to poke as much as he can, but Water Dragon has joined the fight, and this Tryndamere is just going to go off. Kusori does drop Water Dragon quite low, but Cassiopeia, Spooky will pick up one. The shutdown from Kusori, though, on one person. Water Dragon will pick up the kill onto Alendris, though. Kusori will get a double kill as he picks up Spooky in the backline, peeling for Maxim. And finally, EBO on the board, but I think they might be staying too long as they go into Cavalry. Maximum is dropping really low. Water Dragon will pick up one. Maximum picks up the answer kill as Kustori, again, 3 kills for him that fight. eBag will get away with his life, though. A messy team fight will be 3-2 in favor of EBO, finally getting their first kills of the game.
Shutdown gold from Tryndamere going to Udyr. He needs it. He needs the gold to try and make something happen.
Yeah, is going that Trinity Force, though, and he is by no means ahead. I would have much rather seen a full tank build coming out of this Udyr. His team really just needs survivability as of now, but again, that Udyr syndrome, wanting that Trinity Force, trying to build to late game. EBO is just trying to bet their lucky stars that they can hold off long enough for them to get there. But Placeholder has an iron grip on this game right now. Third Dragon going to be picked up easily for Placeholders. And EBO just not able to get a foothold in this game. Luckily, that team fight did save their inhibitor, so they can breathe just a little bit easier now. Oh, okay, so Kusari will pick that up. Doesn't smite it away, though. Was almost a steal. Water Dragon will go over to Maxim. Likes his chances to duel. But his team pings him off as EVO rotates that middle. Now, Ebeg will lead the charge for his team down, wanting to net this inhibitor, though. Maxim will land a big Vladimir ulti. The re-engage from Little Robot will drop him low. Kaza falls, though, as Cassiopeia will try to pick up a kill onto Hakarim. Sejuani, Ebeg dropping Kustori. And so far, that's a 1-for-2 trade, but placeholder is blinking red. Nice Cavalry picks up a kill onto Ebeg. Jarrett gets stunned out thanks to that Braum passive. Cavalry will pick up another kill. Spooky Spaghetti going off in the backline. It's him against the world, though. He needs to focus Cavalry right now because he's got the damage. That's going to be a double kill, but Cavalry, with the red ticking, will get that shutdown on Spooky Spaghetti. But Water Dragon still up. He wasn't even a part of that fight. Little Robot now engaging. Water Dragon just going to ignore this as he picks up the inhibitor. Should get lanterned out too by Jarrett. And just like that, placeholder is up. An inhibitor.
Very explosive team fight. After Tryndamere used his ult, he backed and teleported back into the fight, which netted them the inhib.
Yeah, I think that a placeholder with such a substantial lead, they can get away with these reckless plays, but I feel like them forcing that inhibitor just resulted in them dying needlessly. They still have the last T2 available for them. They could have gotten just a little bit more global gold for the entire team. Maybe waited for the 4th dragon, or even rotated for a free Baron. Considering the fact that they do have the damage for it, Kaza is huge, sitting on an Infinity Edge and working towards that Phantom Dancer, Blade of the Rune King, and Static Shiv. Already finished for Water Dragon on that Tryndamere. And Baron doesn't spawn with a lot of health. Could have been an easy pickup for them, considering the fact that EVO could not contest that at all. But regardless, they do pick up that Nexus, that inhibitor, sorry, and will be pressuring EVO. Now, with very limited items on EVO sides, can they really deal with super minions at this point in the game? Considering the fact that the siege is coming out. Cavalry gets caught in. Jarrett likes his chances. Big Sedge ulti. The follow-up too. Cavalry dropping really low. Nice engage from Little Robot. Will fear placeholders away. Kaza's not in this team fight at all, as she is out on over the wall, base wall actually. But Spooky Spaghetti doesn't matter. He's doing so much damage. A lot of members from EBO are low, not able to finish up. But Kaza will pick up the kill onto Maxim. Double kill for Spooky Spaghetti on the back end of that, picking up Cavalry. He ended up staying a little too long. And with the 3 members and all the carries down for EBO, this is most assuredly going to just be a win for placeholders, taking it in dominant fashion. And team placeholders will net themselves the first game of the series. GG, well played.